to another 6-scale figure review with me, your host, That Mania. And today we have the first of the present toys Ghostbusters, this being Egon Spengler. And here is the box, and I do like the design. It's fun, it's kind of rusty, gross. There is a bit of an outline of a picture underneath, which is under the sheath, but I like the sheath. It kind of reminds me of the box of the Neutrona wand and the proton pack that the Hasbro did that came in. It's not bad. You got the Ghostbusters logo back there, the nice Spengler in the red with the black patch. You know, another Ghostbusters, the ghost hunting squad. What we do have, take this bad boy off, a really solid art piece, I'd say. I like it. Pretty much tells you everything. It's got some comic-y stuff in the back. They don't look great face-wise, other than Winston over there. He looks fine. Ray looks like a weird detective. Peter doesn't look like himself. Egon looks fine. But I like the art. It's fun. It's pretty much the same on the back, just in all red. But obviously, I'm very excited to see how this Ghostbuster turned out, with it being, I believe, a recast of the Blitzway Ghostbusters face and present toys skill of making figures. So why don't we take a look at him out of the box now? So what can I say? It's a Ghostbuster. This is something that a lot of people I know have been wanting because they didn't get the original Blitzway ones, and they might not get the new Blitzway ones because I've heard that those are going to be kind of limited. And then it's now up to me and people like me to help you decide if these are worth picking up, if you can find. And, you know, join me on this adventure of one at a time, starting with Egon as we go over every single individual Ghostbuster, so you can make the educated decision to pick these up or not. Because I know there's definitely some give and there's definitely some take, and we'll have to see overall whether it's a worthwhile endeavor for you or if it's not. So why don't we take him off of the spinning turntable here and actually take a look at the figure and all of the stuff going on here. So this is the fun part. We get to go over Ghostbuster accessories. So let's start with the most basic one. We've got this radio. They use it, you know, those big chunky radios that they used back in 1984. They were using this to communicate, like, in the hotel, in that first outing. You can remember Peter was holding it when he got slimed. So, you know, it's a fun accessory, and it does just kind of slide into his belt. It's probably not going to be perfect because I'm only got one hand, but it's not bad. Then we've got the PKE meter, which is nice. It's okay. I mean, it's kind of small, so it's hard to detail. You can see that there are the little silver studs on the side, which would light up. It does open up, so you can pretend like there is indeed a scary ghoul. I do have a life-size one of these, so I could say this is pretty not bad. It's overall really, really nice, so I'm happy about that. Then we have our proton pack, which does light up, but I don't have batteries for it, and I don't have a screwdriver to see if there are batteries and I'm just missing something. But there's a lot going on here, and I love it. It's pretty straightforward. It's very delicate for the most part. Be careful of this. This is supposed to be sticking down, and mine bent, so if you bend it too much, it will break. But it is a lovely piece. You can see all the ribbon wires and all the regular wires. You can see the cyclotron here at the bottom, which will probably light up. There's so much good going on here. And there's a warning on the top. There should be, there's more words on the side and one in the middle. It's really nice. I love the way this looks. My biggest concern, or my biggest issue, is that there's a back piece, but there's no center strap like they have in the movie to strap it on center-wise, like click into place belt. So they missed that. But other than that, pretty good. And you can see we have the tube here, which leads to our Neutrona wand. which in the description says it lights up, but it definitely doesn't, since that is most definitely a sticker, unless the front here lights up, which I could kind of believe. It did have the wire here that's supposed to be from here to here, but it broke off almost as soon as I opened it up, which is a shame. It is a very delicate piece, so be careful with that. But the Neutrona one also looks really good. It's got pretty much everything it needs on it. It's got a nice metal weathering. So I'm very happy with this. I'm very happy with this overall, because again, I have one of these, so I know what it looks like in real life. And it's pretty smack on. I'm pretty happy with that. So, not bad. We do have the beam, which does plug in. You can see there is a specific hole here at the top, and it does just slide over that, so you can have your proton pack blasting away, which looks awesome. And then we have the second sculpt. So like I said previously, the first sculpt is pretty much modeled after the Blitzway one, if not just re-sculpted. The second sculpt is their free-handed attempt for pretty much all of them. And it's not great. Yeah, let's see what happens when we put the glasses on. The glasses are a game changer for the other one. Alright, with the glasses, it's not as bad. It's still not great. I don't see myself using this. Oh! But it's a rough sculpt. The glasses are nice, though. They're pretty sturdy. They feel sturdy. I don't feel like these are going to break like other glasses I've had in the past, like the concrete-faced Trinity from The Matrix. But yeah, secondary sculpt, not as good as the initial one. I think even the paintwork is a little lesser on it, but not too drastic. Yeah. It's a weird choice, but, you know, if you want your Egon screaming, despite, you know, feeling so out of place in character for Egon, there you go. So I'm not going to put the backpack back on so we can look at all the detail here. But looking at the head sculpt, I can say the regular head sculpt is actually pretty nice. I do like the sculpt. It's not perfect, which is pretty much how you could talk about every President's Toys figure ever. But it is still kind of nice, especially with the glasses on. You can see Egon in there. It's not like I'm not getting some sort of representation of Egon Spengler. So I don't hate it. The price is a little hefty, so I feel like it should have been a little better. But I bet most of the price probably went into them trying to figure out how to engineer this proton pack. Because none of these Ghostbusters got the ecto goggles. I don't think any of them come with a ghost trap either. They barely come. They come with like one fake accessory per thing that they had. Like Ray has a cigarette. He's got the PKE meter, which I'm happy about because I'm glad a PKE meter got made. But yeah, the sculpt isn't bad. It feels kind of small, but that's mainly because the suit is a little chunky, which, you know, it is because it's a big chunky suit. Going down, we do have the suit here. You can see his name, Spengler, looking really good on that black with the red lettering on it. It's a lot smaller than everyone else's because Spengler is a long last name, just like Zetamore. You know, I guess they're all kind of big. Stans is probably the best one, but it's close. And Venkman is also kind of long. But it does look really good. I love the way it came out. The Ghostbusters logo right there is really good. He ain't afraid of no ghosts. I love Egon, so I'm glad that this is the first one I've gotten. And I will say, suit-wise, everything is really good. I'm not worried about this suit in the slightest. It's pretty much just the sculpt that's taking me out of it, because it's just not as perfect as it could be. Coming down, we do have the belt, which has a bunch of jangling keys. Another big point of content, there's no PKE holder on this belt anywhere. None of them have any means of holding their equipment, even if they didn't have it, which, like I said, there's no ghost trap, so that means there's no ghost trap holder. But in this case, there's no PKE holder. So he's got no way to just hold it on his belt. He's got to either hold it in his hand or not hold it at all, which is a shame, because, you know, he can hold it. Here we have the, like I said earlier, the walkie-talkie clip. So the walkie-talkie gets a holder, but the PKE meter doesn't. It's like they watch them. Obviously, they don't have, like, the designs of every character, because they have to just kind of watch the movie and find all the pictures. They don't get access to the behind-the-scenes stuff because it's third-party. But still, I mean, just look at what Hasbro's been releasing, man. You could see that they had a PKE meter holder and a ghost trap and a ghost trap holder. It's not like it's not there. Yeah, the belt's got a couple clips on it, which make you think that it can hold something, but it can't. Then we got this tube that I haven't quite figured out what to do with yet. I know it's kind of like spooled up on their side, but it's kind of hard to find a place for it. And then we've also got this thing that I don't really remember at all. So I just kind of clipped it to the back here, so it's in and out of the way. And then from here, it is just straight, just pants all the way down to the boots, which are all one big piece, which is unfortunate. So it's kind of hard for him to stand. But all in all, I'm happy. I've got Egon here. I cannot wait because I've got Ray and the rest. I got Ray coming in, and then the next day, then I should have Peter and Winston here really shortly, so we can have the whole crew sooner than later. And then the next problem will be figuring out where to put them. And since I don't have any other Ghostbusters, we're gonna skip comparisons for now, which is, you know, unfortunate, but we'll come back around on that. And, you know, maybe I will have a couple Ghostbusters soon, sooner than you might think. So we'll have to just wait and see. But for now, let's move on to the next part of the video. So without the proton pack on, we can do a life-ending 360 degrees up. So his neck isn't really connected. I'm going to have to re-glue that, which is a shame. So up that far and down that far and back and forth. Arm goes up that far. Arm goes up that far and back that far. Good elbow bend. I'm going to take this off for now just in case. He's got some crunch action. Legs spread nicely. Leg goes up that far. Leg goes back that far. Knee bend and no ankle articulation. Obviously, you're not going to get that much articulation. Well, you'll still probably get all of that articulation except for the backward stuff with the proton pack and Neutrona one on, so you shouldn't really have to worry overall, and he can hold all of those cool ghost busting poses you could possibly need him to hold. But now, let us slide off and make our way to the end of the video. Funny that it's Egon the one to have his head fall off, since he's the one who's dead, you know? Now that is quite the look for you, Egon, buddy. The proton beam is a lot longer than in my brain I expected it to be. So he doesn't quite twist with a front face. I can only do it while he's holding it up, because it pretty much goes the length of the box every which way, but forward where the camera is. And then it'll just hit the camera. What can I say? I really like the figure. I don't love it because it's got issues, you know. The sculpt just not looking perfect. Some missing pieces to the overall Ghostbusters experience, for him at least. I know that it's for all of them. But, you know, having a Ghostbuster now in hand, something that I can kind of work with here, I can see what I can do to fix some of these things, like the strap, or, you know, for Ray, the goggles, the ghost trap, the PKE meter holder. I know I've seen other people talking about it, and some people have made their own, so I'll have to see about getting something like that done. So there are means to improve, and the fact that I now have the overall thing, I think the hardest part is the backpack, and now I have the backpack, so it's just a matter of getting, you know, the rest of the figure to catch up with the good stuff, the suit, the accessories, it's almost right there. It's the same thing I say about present toys every time. Like, they're so close. They're just not sticking the landing. The sculpt is a lot better than a lot of their other ones. Like, I know Ghost Riders is really good, but it's also probably just a recast of the Hot Toys one. This one is good. Not this one, this one's janky and weird and funny. I love it. But the other one is really good, and it's because that they just kind of ripped it from another company who's better than them. And, Present Toys should be able to have more, I don't know, they should have some dignity. They should have the means to say, we can do better. We can make the sculpts as good as Blitz, maybe not as Blitzway. We can make better sculpts. We can make the hair look nice. We can make the faces look good and not like Uncanny Valley almost. If they can just get the sculpts and, these stupid nitpicky problems gone, I say it every time, Present Toys could be really good because they have a market that nobody else is touching right now. They've got a lot of 80s stuff that nobody's been touching, like Terminator. Well, Terminator now has been touched a little bit. Like Alien and Ghostbusters. They started doing some RoboCop stuff. Like, they're doing all this like different stuff, and then they made some game stuff and some like show stuff. So they've got all over the place. It's just a matter of the fact that they haven't gotten their stuff together. And it's just they're so close. They have the means and they have what they need to succeed. They're just not doing it, and that's the biggest fault of Present Toys. Every single time is that they're just not going far enough to cross the finish line. It's like they can run all the way to the line, but they stop right before it. But enough talking about Present Toys for the 500th time, since I'll probably do that plenty more in these next couple. How do you feel about this figure? Do you have this guy, or do you have the Blitzway version, or are you waiting to see how the Blitzway version is, whether it's limited or not limited? Are you planning on picking that up? Which one are you doing? I know I picked this up way before the Blitzway, and they announced that they were doing some more, so I had to just stick with it. And, if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like and subscribe, because the channel's been doing really nicely recently, which is kind of crazy to say. Like, usually I just say that, but it has been doing really nicely recently, and the momentum has been beautiful, and I'd love to keep that up, especially because I got a lot of fun stuff that I'm really excited to talk about these next couple weeks with all this weird gobbledygook that I've been getting in, and, a couple Hot Toys ones here and there. So, let's keep that trainer rolling. A woo-woo. And, as always, with all of that out of the way, I've been me, and you've been you, and thank you for watching another 6-scale figure review. Hopefully you join me next time when we review something maybe new. I will see you then.